most people are not, they associate sexual gender-based violence to sex, an act of sex only. That is one of them, but it comes in different forms. We have physical violence, where we've seen a lot of domestic violence, and even violence among workers, informal and informal setting. And there's the psychological violence. And this violence comes with emotional abuse, where you find that either in the workspace or at family level, people would just shut you down, or people would just torture you emotionally. Another form is economic violence. This is where either you go through a lot of sanctions when it comes to workspace, and you're supposed to maybe be paid. I know of some companies where even salaries are delayed. I know of some places where the people are fired, you know, and there's that insecurity that if I do this, I will be fired, or if I do this. So there are people in positions of power. It could be in the finance, it could be in other departments, but they put a lot of pressure at the workspace. And at family level, you find that maybe the breadwinner is the person who physically abuses. And because he's the one who has the bread and has to pay the bills, so the woman is always subjected to violations. I know of cases where they have to hide children, because every time the spouses would come home, they would come home and start beating them in front of the children. So how do you even explain this? It begins in the space where we are in. You cannot be one person in the office and another person at home. So we need to interrogate, how do you relate with people in the office? What is causing your triggers, or how is your upbringing? Because some people, out of their childhood experiences, they become who they become. And that's why counseling plays a very key role in every individual's life. Even the people who are senior to us, they could be dealing with things that we don't know. And therefore, for them, seeking for counseling is very, very important, because they're able to, because usually something with narcissists or people who oppress others, they do it unconsciously. But they do it unconsciously. Why? Because they are selfish. They try to do something that makes them feel good, but unconsciously forgetting that they're subjecting other people to certain oppressions. So you find that there's a lot of economic violation, and then cultural violations. You have sanctions here, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, and you're subjected to a lot of cultural shame and violations. Like, for instance, in some communities, including where I come from, if your husband dies, then you're subject to the brothers. So imagine, that's a very serious violation, because these days it's different. A long time ago, you're forced. The brother to your husband will just shift to your house. So imagine starting to live with a brother to your, and maybe you're a Christian. So a lot of cultural interference, but all in all, trickles down to power and control. Who is that person who is in power and control, and how are they using the power? Then gender norms. How do we define gender norms? I know of some places, if you're a woman, unless you say you have children, you will never be paid a higher salary, or you're always measured. There's just a place that you're placed. You see, because you're a woman. So those stereotypes, how can we break the cycle of gender-based violence? How can we break even women violating other women? Because we see them in other sector. If you go to the uniformed forces, you find such cases, such stories of women violating other women. If you come to the open space, corporate, you will find that women are the same people who violate other women. Even in the social media, who are the people who body shame? Who are the people who talk other people down? It is the women. Who are the people who deny other people opportunity? It is the women. If I asked you in your cycle, when last did a woman give you a chance to do something, or to, you'd actually tell me, and you look at your cycle of friends. Who gave you a job? When was the last time you sold something and it is a woman who came and said, oh, you're my friend, bring, I won't buy from that person, I'll buy from you. So you find that that there's that gender thing, that same sex would also violate each other because of maybe the society and how we are brought up. We're in a society where people compete, people live fake lives. We want to portray something else. And so, you know, I will not help you because you'll be better than me, or I like when you're always dependent on me.